In 2011, at the age of 46, Michelle Savard suffered a brain hemorrhage because of a brain malfunction. She survived, but today she's on a quest to raise awareness and funds for the Brain Aneurysm Foundation based in Boston. Hear her amazingly inspirational story next. Take me back to that day in 2011. You were at the gym working out. Everything was fine? How did you know something was happening?
Everything was fine, Esther. I got up in the morning and went through my normal routine just like I do every day. Went to work feeling great, feeling healthy. I was a very healthy 46-year-old young woman. Left work and went to the gym. Got home. Well, as I was working out, I felt something a little bit off in my head, but just attributed that to having a little bit too much weight during my workout. But then when I got home, went through my routine, and all of a sudden, something just felt like it went off in my head, and it felt like it was an inferno in my head from the inside out. And at that point, I knew something was wrong. My sister had called 911. And an ambulance showed up. They took away water, everything from me, and got to the hospital. All I kept saying was, please help me, because the pain in my head continuously got worse and worse. The last thing I remember was the ER doctor, Dr. Scott, coming into the triage room saying, she's bleeding in the brain. At that point, the only thing I remember saying is, I'm not ready to die, and that's the last I remember as they were prepping me for my helicopter ride from New Hampshire to Boston. With this condition, I remember nothing, so it was really my family that went through more of the pain than I did, wondering if I was going to survive through the night. The doctors were prepping me for surgery at that point. I was intubated, I was unconscious. I had no idea what was going on, nor was I in any pain whatsoever.
How's your life different now from then? Are you physically feeling different? Do you still feel anything from that time?
You know, that's a very good question. Physically, I mean, my life has changed. I mean, this changed me from the inside out in a terrifying way. There's a lot of effects that you live with for the rest of your life once your brain experiences that disruption. But my life is a lot more peaceful, a lot more serene. I stress a lot less. And I've been given this amazing, it's almost like I've been showered with grace of just serenity and peace. Now, did that come immediately after my recovery? No. It took many years.
It must have been a shock afterward, getting out of there, and oh my God, what happened to me?
Well, after I left, I was hospitalized for 30 days. After I left the hospital, I was panic-stricken. I felt like I was plucked out of my medical nucleus. I still had a malformation in my brain that needed to be treated, and I was afraid. I was afraid to be alone. I was afraid to walk from here to the next street. So I went into PTSD counseling and started my emotional and mental recovery.
How common is this?
You know, it's not as uncommon as you would think. You know, I think one of the great things that the Brain Aneurysm Foundation does is really help raise awareness. And I know more about the brain now than I probably ever thought I would ever know in my life. And they do so much to support families and the patients as they're recovering, to just support the awareness factor. 1 in every few people are walking around with aneurysms and or malformations in their brain, which is really leading to the reason why they lobby every year in Washington to get aneurysms and AVMs on the map so that our insurance companies will pay for proactive scanning.
Can this be diagnosed beforehand?
It can be diagnosed. One of my favorite sayings to my family and friends now is, it's better to know than to not know. And it's a very treatable condition if in fact it's caught early. If it ruptures, it's life-threatening, obviously. I mean, we saw precious lives taken because of a rupture. I was one of the lucky ones where I was blessed with the second chance. So now I'm really making the most out of this second chance and doing what I can to pay it forward and to make people aware of the symptoms. Sometimes they're very subtle. People tend to go into a self-diagnosis mode. If something's wrong, if you feel pain, that's your body telling you something's not right and I need attention. It was treated through surgery that night and through radiation. And now officially all cleared. Yay!
Tell me about the symptoms that people should look for.
Symptoms are headaches, migraines. I mean, a lot of cases with aneurysms and/or AVMs, they are misdiagnosed as migraines. People are sent home from these small local hospitals thinking they have a migraine, when in fact they could have an aneurysm or an AVM, which is an arterial venous malformation.
You've been given a second chance, and your message to the world is what?
Live each day one wave at a time. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a survival story. Let it change you from the inside out.
Go through the journey.
Exact. Dance through the journey. Keep dancing.
Michelle, thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. I love you. I love you too. For more information, go to bafound.org. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.